Chapter 1, Dreams of Destiny. In the chapter, Dreams of Destiny, Tony Robbins dives into the idea that our dreams are not just wishes, they are the driving force behind our actions and the blueprint for our future. He emphasizes that having a compelling vision of what you want in life is essential for success. It's not just about setting goals, but about envisioning a future that excites you so much that it pulls you forward, even on tough days. Robbins challenges the reader to think about their biggest desires, those dreams that might seem almost impossible. But instead of letting fear hold you back, he encourages you to adopt a mindset of possibility and confidence. It's all about believing that you deserve success and happiness. What you focus on expands, so if you focus on your dreams and align your energy towards achieving them, you're already setting the stage for them to unfold. He also stresses the importance of passion. When you're passionate about something, it energizes you, and it becomes easier to overcome obstacles. He introduces the idea of turning those dreams into clear, actionable goals, and most importantly, making them non-negotiable. With determination, you can turn your vision into reality. This chapter is all about waking up that giant within you, believing that your dreams are not just fantasy, but the foundation of your destiny. Robbins encourages readers to dream big, aim high, and never let fear or doubt get in the way. After all, your dreams are the compass guiding you towards the life you truly want. Chapter 2, Decisions, the Pathway to Power. In the chapter, Decisions, the Pathway to Power, Tony Robbins makes it crystal clear, your decisions shape your destiny. He argues that the power to change your life doesn't lie in some magical moment or external force, but in the decisions you make every single day. It's like he's saying, you're the captain of your own ship, and the choices you make are the sails that catch the wind and steer you towards your goals. Robbins dives into how indecision can be a huge roadblock. When you hesitate or avoid making decisions, you let fear and uncertainty control you, and that holds you back from reaching your full potential. But when you make a firm, committed decision, even if it's a small one, you're essentially unlocking the door to personal power. It's in those moments of decisive action that you take charge of your future. He also talks about how empowering decisions come from understanding your values and what truly matters to you. When you know what you stand for, making decisions becomes a lot easier because you can align them with your core beliefs. Robbins emphasizes that decisions determine your results, not circumstances, not talent, but the choices you make. Want to change your life? Start by making better decisions. To wrap it up, Robbins urges readers to take action immediately after making a decision. Procrastination is the enemy of progress, and every choice leads to a shift in your path. The more decisively you act, the more unstoppable you become. So, decide now, and let your power unfold. Chapter 3, The Force That Shapes Your Life. In the chapter, The Force That Shapes Your Life, Tony Robbins takes us on a deep dive into the power of emotions. He explains that emotions are the driving force behind everything we do. They're the fuel that propels us toward our desires, or, if we're not careful, they can be the anchors that hold us back. Robbins shares that our emotions are created by the meanings we attach to events in our lives. For instance, two people can experience the same event, but their emotions about it can be completely different based on the meanings they assign. One might see a challenge as a setback, while another sees it as an opportunity to grow. The key takeaway here is that we have the power to change the meanings we assign to things, which in turn can change how we feel and, ultimately, how we act. The chapter emphasizes that positive emotions like joy, excitement, and gratitude are powerful tools for living a fulfilled life, while negative emotions like anger or fear are often the result of focusing on things beyond our control. Robbins encourages readers to shift focus from what's wrong to what's possible, teaching us that our emotional state is within our control. He also introduces the idea of using emotions strategically. Instead of letting them control us, we can use them to motivate ourselves to take action, to push through obstacles, and to stay focused on our goals. The chapter is a powerful reminder that we are the architects of our emotions, and by changing our emotional state, we can change the course of our lives. So, the next time you feel stuck, remember, the force that shapes your life is yours to control. Chapter 4, Belief Systems, the Power to Create and the Power to Destroy. In Belief Systems, the Power to Create and the Power to Destroy, Tony Robbins explores how our beliefs can either propel us to success or hold us back from achieving our dreams. The chapter is all about how beliefs shape our reality. They're like the lenses through which we see the world. Tony explains that our beliefs are often formed early in life, influenced by our family, culture, and experiences. These beliefs can become so deeply ingrained that we don't even question them. But here's the catch: beliefs are not facts. They're simply thoughts we've accepted as truth, and we can change them if they no longer serve us. Robbins makes a bold point: what we believe shapes our behavior, and consequently, our results. A positive belief, like, "I can achieve anything I set my mind to," fuels motivation, determination, and resilience. On the other hand, a limiting belief, such as, "I'm not good enough," keeps us stuck, preventing us from reaching our potential. He emphasizes the importance of recognizing that you are not your beliefs. You have the power to rewire your mind and replace limiting beliefs with ones that empower you. Through techniques like neuro-associative conditioning, you can shift your thinking to align with your goals and create a positive feedback loop that strengthens your confidence and actions. The chapter is a reminder that your beliefs are your power. They either create your future or destroy it. The choice is yours. By changing your beliefs, you change your life. So, what beliefs are you holding on to that might be keeping you from the life you truly desire? Chapter 5, Can Change Happen in an Instant? In this chapter, Tony Robbins poses the exciting question, can change happen in an instant? And the answer is a resounding yes. He argues that change doesn't always have to be a slow, drawn-out process. It can happen in an instant. All it takes is a shift in your mindset, emotions, and focus. Robbins explains that the key to change lies in decision-making. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or thinking that change requires years of effort. Instead, it's about making the decision right now to transform your life. He gives the example of people who have dramatically shifted their lives after making a single, powerful decision, whether that's to quit smoking, lose weight, or start a new career. He also talks about neuro-associative conditioning, a technique that helps you associate new behaviors with positive emotions and old habits with pain. In other words, it's about rewiring your brain so that positive changes feel good, and the old negative patterns feel terrible. The instant you make this connection, the ability to change becomes far easier. The chapter is all about empowerment. It's a reminder that you don't have to wait for external circumstances to change for you to take control. The power to change your life lies within your decisions and your willingness to act. So, why wait? The moment you decide to make a change, your life can be different right now. Instant change is totally within your reach. Chapter 6, How to Change Anything in Your Life, The Science of Neuro-Associative Conditioning. In the chapter, How to Change Anything in Your Life, The Science of Neuro-Associative Conditioning, Tony Robbins introduces the concept of neuro-associative conditioning, NAC, a powerful tool that explains how our behaviors, thoughts, and emotions are shaped by the associations we've made in our brains. The idea is simple yet profound. Our brain connects certain actions or events to feelings, whether they are positive or negative. So, if you've ever found yourself eating junk food because it makes you feel good in the moment, or procrastinating because it feels easier, NAC helps explain why these habits are so hard to break. The brain creates patterns of behavior based on the associations it makes over time, and these patterns can either empower or sabotage us. Robbins suggests that to change any behavior, you need to reprogram these associations. First, you need to become aware of the patterns that aren't serving you. Then, through NAC, you can break the old associations, like linking stress with overeating, and replace them with new, positive associations, like linking stress with exercise or meditation. The beauty of NAC is that it's about taking control. Instead of being at the mercy of your old patterns, you can actively choose to condition your brain to respond differently to situations. Want to stop procrastinating? Create a new, positive emotional association with taking action. Want to be healthier? Associate eating well with feelings of pride and energy. Ultimately, this chapter is a call to action. By using NAC, you can change your life by changing the associations your brain makes, making it easier to create lasting transformation in any area of your life. Ready to take the reins? Tony's got you covered. Chapter 7, How to Get What You Really Want. In the chapter, How to Get What You Really Want, Tony Robbins lays out the roadmap for turning your desires into reality. The key, according to him, is clarity. It's not enough to simply want something, you have to be crystal clear about exactly what you want and why you want it. The clearer you are, the easier it is to take consistent actions toward your goal. Robbins emphasizes that most people fail because they don't know what they really want. They might say they want more money or a better relationship, but what they truly desire beneath those surface-level goals is often unclear. To truly get what you want, you need to ask yourself deeper questions. Why is this goal important to me? How will my life be different when I achieve it? Once you have that clarity, Robbins introduces the concept of taking massive action. It's not about waiting for things to fall into place, it's about relentlessly pursuing your goals with enthusiasm and passion. He says that success is 99% strategy and 1% luck. So, you've got to make a plan and act on it consistently. But here's the twist. You need to adopt an emotional leverage mindset. Link pain to the idea of not taking action and massive pleasure to actually achieving your goals. That emotional charge is what drives you to stay committed, especially when challenges arise. Finally, Robbins encourages us to develop a growth mindset. Every setback is an opportunity to learn, and with the right attitude, you can never lose, you only win or learn. In essence, getting what you really want comes down to clarity, massive action, and harnessing the power of your emotions. So, what are you waiting for? Go after your dreams with everything you've got. Chapter 8, Questions Are the Answer. Tony Robbins emphasizes the incredible power that questions have in shaping our reality. He starts by pointing out that the quality of our life is largely determined by the quality of the questions we ask ourselves. Instead of focusing on problems, Robbins suggests we should ask empowering questions that lead us towards solutions and positive action. Robbins explains that humans tend to ask themselves the same types of questions repeatedly. For example, questions like, why does this always happen to me, or why am I so unlucky, only reinforce negative thoughts and feelings. To break out of this cycle, Robbins urges us to flip the script. Instead of focusing on problems, ask solutions-oriented questions such as, what can I learn from this, or how can I turn this around? The key idea here is that questions direct your focus. When we ask the right questions, we unlock our potential to find answers and take action. Robbins also points out that questions can help us align our emotions with our goals. For instance, asking ourselves, how would it feel to achieve this goal, can motivate us to keep pushing forward, even when challenges arise. In essence, the chapter is about training your mind to ask better, more empowering questions that will shift your focus from the problem to the solution. By doing so, you'll begin to notice new opportunities, take smarter actions, and ultimately create a life that's in line with your true desires. So, the next time you face a challenge, remember, the right questions can be your secret weapon. Chapter 9, The Vocabulary of Ultimate Success. In the chapter, The Vocabulary of Ultimate Success, Tony Robbins emphasizes the power of language and how it shapes our experience and success. He argues that the words we choose to use in our daily life are not just random, they have the power to either empower us or limit us. Language is like a magic wand, it can either help you create the life you desire or keep you stuck in a negative loop. Robbins starts by explaining that certain words can trigger strong emotions and deeply influence our state of mind. For instance, words like, I can't, or, it's too hard, can instantly make us feel defeated, while words like, I can, or, I will, can ignite a sense of determination and possibility. The vocabulary of success isn't just about speaking positively, it's about shifting your internal dialogue to align with the person you want to become. He introduces the concept of using empowering words, words that inspire action, confidence, and creativity. Robbins also touches on the importance of intensity in language. The way we speak about something, whether it's in a calm tone or with fiery energy, can either strengthen or weaken the impact of our words. The more intense your words, the more intense your emotions and actions become. Ultimately, this chapter is a reminder that language is power. By consciously choosing words that uplift and inspire, you can change your mindset, focus, and action. So, why not choose words that push you forward instead of holding you back? It's all about creating a vocabulary that leads you straight to your ultimate success. Chapter 10, Destroy the Blocks. Break down the wall. Let go of the rope. In this chapter, Tony Robbins focuses on how we create our own barriers in life and how those mental blocks keep us stuck in one place, preventing us from moving forward. Imagine you're hanging onto a rope, and you're too afraid to let go, even though it's holding you back from reaching new heights. That's what Tony calls limiting beliefs, those invisible walls we build around ourselves that keep us from stepping into our full potential. Tony challenges us to take a deep dive into the stories we tell ourselves. Maybe it's, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never succeed," but the truth is, these stories are just made up. They aren't real, and they don't define who we are or what we can achieve. The key is to destroy these blocks by changing the way we think about ourselves and the world around us. He introduces a technique called Neuro-Associative conditioning, which is a fancy term for using your mind to rewire how you respond to things. It's about creating new associations that are empowering, rather than limiting. So instead of fearing failure, you begin to see it as a stepping stone to success. Tony emphasizes that we need to break down the walls of fear, doubt, and procrastination and let go of that rope holding us back. It's about taking bold, courageous action, and trusting that even though it feels uncomfortable at first, letting go opens up a world of possibilities. So, let go of that rope, destroy those blocks, and break through the wall. You've got this. Your future is waiting, and it's way more exciting than you can imagine. Chapter 11, The 10 Emotions of Power. In the chapter, The 10 Emotions of Power, Tony Robbins introduces the idea that emotions are not just random feelings, they are incredibly powerful tools that can shape our lives. He reveals that by mastering and controlling our emotions, we can take charge of our destiny. The key here is that emotions are a form of energy, and by choosing to harness the right ones, you can create positive momentum in your life. Robbins explains that there are certain emotions that can fuel us with strength, confidence, and motivation. These are the emotions of power, those feelings that propel you to take bold actions and achieve greatness. He lists emotions like gratitude, love, joy, and passion as examples of those that can drive you forward. When you feel gratitude, for instance, it shifts your focus to the positives in life, which brings in more of the same. On the flip side, Robbins warns about negative emotions like fear, anger, and guilt. While these feelings can provide short-term motivation, they tend to keep you stuck in a cycle of negativity and limitation. The key, then, is to shift your emotional state deliberately, choose to elevate your emotions instead of letting them drag you down. The challenge Robbins sets for readers is simple but profound: master your emotions, and you master your life. By consciously cultivating powerful, positive emotions, you align your thoughts and actions with your highest potential. Ultimately, these emotions act as fuel, propelling you towards success, happiness, and fulfillment. Chapter 12, The Magnificent Obsession, Creating a Compelling Future. In the chapter, The Magnificent Obsession, Creating a Compelling Future, Tony Robbins talks about creating a future so compelling that it drives you to take action, even when things get tough. He introduces the idea of a magnificent obsession, a goal, a vision, or a purpose that you're so passionate about that it becomes the center of your life. Robbins explains that this obsession isn't just about setting a big goal. It's about creating a life vision that excites you every single day. It's that sense of purpose that pulls you out of bed in the morning, even before the coffee kicks in. The key is to make your vision so vivid and detailed that it's impossible not to pursue it. He emphasizes that a compelling future doesn't just happen by chance. You need to design it consciously, with clear goals and a set plan. The bigger the vision, the more focused and determined you need to be. Robbins suggests breaking down that massive goal into smaller, more achievable steps so you can build momentum. A magnificent obsession also comes with the power to overcome any obstacle. When your purpose is so strong, you'll face challenges with a sense of confidence and strength, knowing that the end result is worth every struggle. Robbins encourages readers to obsess over their dreams in a positive, inspiring way. It's about developing a mindset that not only pushes you but makes you fall in love with the journey toward your future. Chapter 13, The 10-Day Mental Challenge. In The 10-Day Mental Challenge, Tony Robbins introduces a powerful exercise that's designed to help you reset your mind and transform your thinking patterns. The idea is simple but effective. For the next 10 days, challenge yourself to think and act in a way that's aligned with your highest goals and values. The challenge starts with the power of decisions. Robbins encourages you to make a clear decision to take control of your life, regardless of past circumstances. This is not just about setting a goal, it's about creating a non-negotiable commitment to your growth. Once you make that decision, your brain will start to work in overdrive to find solutions and opportunities. Each day of the challenge focuses on a different aspect of your mental game. From mastering your emotions to breaking limiting beliefs, Robbins urges you to push beyond your comfort zone and face your fears head-on. Day by day, you reprogram your mind to think differently, live with more energy, and react in more empowering ways. You'll be asked to keep a daily journal, tracking your progress, successes, and even setbacks. This reflection helps you stay on track and learn from every experience. Robbins insists that small, consistent actions lead to massive change. So, by the end of 10 days, you'll have rewired your thinking, eliminated old habits, and made lasting positive shifts in how you approach life. The 10-Day Mental Challenge is all about creating momentum. By the end of it, you'll feel more empowered and ready to take on whatever life throws at you, with a mindset that's focused on success and fulfillment. Chapter 14, Ultimate Influence, Your Master System. In the chapter Ultimate Influence, Your Master System, Tony Robbins introduces a game-changing idea: influence is the ultimate tool for shaping your life. But here's the twist: it's not just about influencing others, it's about influencing yourself. The Master System is your inner programming, the beliefs and rules you've created over time that govern how you think, feel, and act. Robbins explains that our beliefs are like filters through which we experience the world. If you believe that the world is a tough place, that's how you'll experience it, tough and filled with obstacles. But if you shift your beliefs and start seeing opportunities everywhere, your experience changes. This is the power of the Master System. It's about reprogramming yourself to create the reality you want, rather than reacting to the world around you. The chapter is a call to action: take control of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Robbins breaks down how you can reshape your emotional and mental states by controlling what you focus on, the language you use, and the meaning you give to your experiences. He emphasizes that you have the power to choose how you respond to every situation, and this ability gives you ultimate influence over your life. The key takeaway: your mind is the most powerful tool you have, and once you master it, you can shape your future with purpose. It's like being the director of your own movie: you can write the script and decide how the story unfolds. So, own your power, influence your mind, and you'll start influencing your life in ways you never thought possible. Chapter 15, Life Values, Your Personal Compass. In the chapter, Tony Robbins dives into the idea that our values are like the GPS of our lives. They guide our decisions, shape our behavior, and ultimately determine the direction we're heading in. It's like having an invisible set of rules for life, but the key is that we get to choose them. Robbins explains that everyone has a unique set of core values, but many times, we're not fully aware of what those values are. These values can range from love, freedom, and family to achievement, security, or adventure. The tricky part: if our values aren't aligned with our actions, we can end up feeling frustrated, lost, or unfulfilled. Here's the magic: once you identify and clarify your core values, you can use them as a filter for decision-making. It's like asking yourself, does this choice line up with what truly matters to me? If it does, great. If not, it might be time for a course correction. Tony also stresses the importance of understanding hierarchy of values, meaning some values are more important than others. For example, if you value family above all, but you're constantly prioritizing work, you're likely to feel some inner conflict. Recognizing this helps you make better choices and focus on what brings you true happiness and fulfillment. Ultimately, this chapter is about taking control and making sure that your actions align with your deepest values. When you live authentically, according to your values, you're not just going through life, you're living with purpose and intention. So, grab your personal compass, recalibrate it, and head straight towards the life that truly resonates with you. Chapter 16, Rules. If you're not happy, here's why. Tony Robbins takes a deep dive into the rules we live by, those internal guidelines we follow, often without even realizing it, that shape our behavior and, ultimately, our happiness. These rules are the beliefs we've created over time, usually based on our past experiences or how we were raised. The tricky part? Many of these rules are often unrealistic or even self-sabotaging. Robbins explains that we all have a set of personal rules that determine how we feel in any given situation. For example, someone might have a rule like, I can only be happy when everything is perfect. But guess what? Life is rarely perfect. So, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Robbins urges us to take a closer look at our rules and start questioning their validity. He challenges the reader to ask themselves, are these rules helping me or hurting me? If a rule is creating unhappiness, it's time to rewrite it. Happiness is not something that happens only under specific conditions, it's about how we choose to perceive and react to situations. By changing our rules, we can change our emotional states. The key takeaway is simple, your rules for happiness are in your hands. If you're unhappy, it's likely because you're playing by rules that don't serve you anymore. So, rewrite them. Make your rules more flexible, positive, and empowering. Happiness is an inside job, and it starts with giving yourself the permission to be happy, no matter what's happening around you. So, why not toss out the old rules that hold you back and create new ones that make life more fun, fulfilling, and, most importantly, happy? Chapter 17, References, the Fabric of Life. In References, the Fabric of Life, Tony Robbins delves into how our past experiences shape our perceptions and influence the way we see the world. He calls these references, the memories, beliefs, and moments that we store in our minds. Just like a fabric woven together with threads, these references create the pattern of our lives. Robbins explains that these references are the lens through which we view everything, how we feel about ourselves, how we interact with others, and how we react to challenges. For example, if you've had positive experiences with success, you'll likely see future opportunities with confidence. But if your past is filled with failure, your mind might automatically associate new opportunities with fear or doubt. The key takeaway here is that we're not slaves to our past. Robbins teaches that we can change our references by creating new positive experiences, focusing on empowering moments, and reframing past challenges. By actively seeking out references that fuel growth, joy, and confidence, we rebuild the way we approach life. For instance, if you've struggled with public speaking, but one day you nail a presentation, that becomes a new reference point for future speeches. Your mind starts to say, hey, I can do this. So, the power is in your hands, you can choose which references you lean on, and you can even create new ones by stepping outside your comfort zone. Ultimately, Robbins encourages us to reshape our reference points to design a life where we're empowered by the lessons of the past, but not held captive by them. By changing the story we tell ourselves, we open up a world of new possibilities. Chapter 18, Identity, the Key to Expansion. Tony Robbins reveals the power of identity in shaping who we are and what we can achieve. He explains that identity is like the lens through which we see ourselves and the world. It's the story we tell ourselves about who we are, what we're capable of, and what we deserve. In other words, your identity is your mental blueprint for life. Robbins emphasizes that changing your identity is one of the most powerful ways to create real and lasting transformation. If you identify yourself as someone who is always successful, confident, and healthy, then those qualities will naturally reflect in your actions. However, if you see yourself as someone who is stuck, unworthy, or incapable, you'll keep attracting experiences that reinforce those beliefs. The fun part? You can change your identity anytime you choose. Robbins shares that it all starts by asking better questions. Instead of asking, "Why am I always failing?" ask, "What can I learn from this situation to improve?" By changing the questions you ask, you begin to shift your self-image and open up new possibilities. He encourages us to step into the identity of the person we want to become. Visualize yourself as the successful, confident, and joyful person you want to be, and make decisions from that place. Your new identity becomes your superpower, and as you live out the story of who you are becoming, you'll see your life expand in exciting ways. Chapter 19, Emotional Destiny, the Only True Success. Tony Robbins emphasizes that true success isn't about money, fame, or material things, it's about the emotions we experience and how we manage them. After all, it's not the circumstances of life that determine our happiness, but the way we feel about them. Robbins explains that our emotions are powerful forces, they shape our reality, decisions, and ultimately, our destiny. Positive emotions lead to action and growth, while negative emotions can trap us in cycles of limitation. The key, he says, is learning how to control and shift our emotions so that we can stay aligned with our goals and values. The chapter is full of practical techniques for mastering your emotions. One of the best strategies Robbins shares is the idea of associating pleasure with good behaviors and pain with bad behaviors. This is the foundation of his Neuro-Associative conditioning technique, a fancy term for teaching your brain to make better emotional choices. Robbins also introduces the idea of the emotional guiding system, our ability to tune in and ask ourselves, "What am I feeling, and why?" This helps us gain clarity and make decisions that are in line with our true desires. At the end of the day, emotional mastery is the key to everything. If you can manage your emotions, you can handle any challenge life throws at you. So, the chapter wraps up with a powerful reminder: success isn't about external achievements, it's about how you feel inside. When you're emotionally empowered, nothing can stop you. Chapter 20, Physical Destiny, Prison of Pain or Palace of Pleasure. Tony Robbins explores how our physical state is deeply connected to our emotional and mental well-being. He emphasizes that our bodies are not just vehicles we inhabit, they're a reflection of our inner state. The way we treat our bodies can either be a form of self-punishment, prison of pain, or a source of joy and energy, palace of pleasure. Robbins encourages readers to take control of their physical health because it impacts everything: energy, mindset, and performance. If we neglect our bodies, we're essentially giving up our power, living in a constant state of discomfort or fatigue. But, if we prioritize our health, by exercising, eating well, and getting enough rest, we can turn our bodies into a powerful tool for achieving success. It's about choosing pleasure over pain, and not just in terms of food, but in how we move, breathe, and nurture our bodies. He introduces the concept of peak performance, the idea that by creating habits that boost your physical state, like regular exercise or mindful breathing, you can create more energy and positivity in your life. By focusing on pleasure over pain, we shift from living in a cycle of dissatisfaction to one of empowerment. So, the chapter is all about taking responsibility for your physical well-being and using your body as a source of strength, confidence, and joy, rather than letting it be a limiting factor. Treat your body like a palace, and watch how it transforms your life and destiny. Chapter 21, Relationship Destiny, the Place to Share and Care. He believes that the quality of your relationships can make or break your happiness, and they play a huge role in determining the level of fulfillment you experience. Robbins explains that relationships aren't just about getting, but about giving, both emotionally and physically. Whether it's with a romantic partner, family, friends, or even colleagues, the best relationships are built on mutual care and understanding. He emphasizes the importance of shared values, effective communication, and being fully present in each connection. A key idea Robbins explores is how expectations in relationships can be a double-edged sword. Often, we expect people to act in certain ways, but when those expectations aren't met, it can lead to frustration or disappointment. Instead, he encourages readers to create unconditional love and acceptance, letting go of rigid expectations and focusing on connection. He also brings up the power of appreciation. When we show gratitude and acknowledge our loved ones, it strengthens the bond and creates an environment where both people feel valued. In turn, this makes the relationship more fulfilling. Robbins stresses that healthy relationships are about ongoing personal growth. If we stop growing individually, it can lead to stagnation and resentment. By continuing to learn, grow, and share together, relationships become an uplifting journey that enhances both people's lives. Ultimately, this chapter reminds us that relationships are a reflection of how we treat ourselves. The more we care for and nurture ourselves, the more we can offer to others. Chapter 22, Financial Destiny, Small Steps to a Small, or Large, Fortune. Tony Robbins reminds us that financial success isn't just about a big break or instant riches, it's all about the small, consistent actions that accumulate over time. He emphasizes that financial freedom isn't reserved for the lucky few, but something that anyone can achieve by making smart decisions and taking control of their financial future. Robbins encourages us to start small, really small. The idea is that small steps compound over time, creating a huge impact. He compares it to the principle of compounding interest, where even modest investments can grow significantly if done consistently. Whether it's cutting back on unnecessary expenses, saving a little extra, or investing in learning new skills, these small actions, when repeated, lead to a bigger fortune than you might expect. He also discusses the importance of shifting your mindset around money. Rather than seeing it as a limited resource, he wants you to start thinking of it as abundant, something you can generate through value creation and smart choices. It's not about how much you have at the start, but about how you manage and grow it. Most importantly, Robbins stresses that financial freedom is a mindset. You don't need a huge salary to build wealth, you need discipline, smart choices, and the willingness to grow. Little by little, those small steps will lead to massive financial transformation. The key is starting today, because when you do, you're already on your way to your fortune. This chapter is a great reminder that small, consistent actions can create a giant financial future. Chapter 23, Master Your Time and Life. Tony Robbins tackles one of the most precious resources we have, time. He reminds us that time is the ultimate currency. Once it's gone, we can't get it back. So, why do so many of us waste it? Robbins explains that mastering your time means mastering your life. It's not just about being busy, it's about being productive and intentional with what you do. He introduces a powerful concept, the idea of taking control over your time by setting priorities based on your values and goals. Instead of letting life happen to you, you can design your day, your week, and your year. Robbins encourages you to ask yourself, what do I want to experience today? By setting clear intentions and eliminating distractions, you can focus on what matters most. Robbins also shares strategies like the time blocking technique, where you dedicate specific blocks of time to specific tasks, keeping your day organized and on track. He warns against multitasking, which can lead to less effectiveness, and instead urges you to focus on one thing at a time with laser-like precision. One of the coolest takeaways is his method of using a time management system that aligns with your passions and goals. He says that when you're doing things that truly excite and energize you, time seems to fly by, and you're way more productive without feeling drained. Ultimately, Robbins shows that by mastering your time, you can create a life full of joy, purpose, and fulfillment. It's about being in control, not just of your schedule, but of your destiny. Chapter 24, The Ultimate Gift, Your Legacy. Tony Robbins brings the spotlight on the idea that true success is not just about wealth or accomplishments, it's about leaving behind a lasting legacy that positively impacts others. He encourages you to think beyond your lifetime and focus on the difference you can make in the world. Robbins defines a legacy as something that doesn't just benefit you in the short term but continues to influence and inspire future generations. He invites us to reflect on the kind of mark we want to leave behind, emphasizing that the most powerful legacies are often rooted in love, service, and contribution. Instead of chasing fleeting material success, Robbins challenges readers to ask themselves, what do you want people to remember about you when you're gone? He paints a picture of a life lived not for selfish gain, but for a greater purpose, whether that's mentoring others, giving back to your community, or creating something that will continue to make the world a better place long after you're gone. The ultimate gift, he suggests, is not measured by what we accumulate but by the lives we touch and the positive changes we help bring about. Whether through generosity, kindness, or simply sharing your unique talents, Robbins highlights that living a life with purpose is what truly matters. Your legacy is the impact you have on others and how you contribute to shaping a better future for everyone. In this chapter, Robbins urges you to think about your own legacy and take immediate action to make your life count, so when it's all said and done, you can look back and know that you left the world better than you found it. It's an inspiring call to live with intention and create something that truly matters. Chapter 25, A Lesson in Destiny. Tony Robbins wraps up the book with a powerful message about taking full control of your life. He emphasizes that you are the creator of your own destiny, no one else has the power to determine your future but you. It's all about taking responsibility for your actions, your emotions, and your decisions. Robbins highlights that life is not a random series of events, but rather the result of choices we make every day. If you want to change your destiny, it begins with a shift in mindset, moving from a place of helplessness to a place of power. He challenges readers to take a hard look at the way they've been living, the decisions they've been making, and how those choices have been shaping their current reality. The chapter encourages you to choose the life you want to live, rather than letting life happen to you. Robbins stresses that you are never stuck, and no matter your past, you have the ability to recreate your life from this moment forward. The key is understanding that your thoughts and beliefs shape your actions, and by changing the way you think, you can change the way you live. Robbins also reminds us of the importance of commitment. It's not enough to simply dream, you have to fully commit to those dreams and take consistent action toward them. Realizing your destiny requires persistence, resilience, and a deep belief that you deserve the life you envision. In essence, this chapter is a call to action, a reminder that your destiny is in your hands. The journey to greatness begins with the decision to take control, dream big, and step into your power with confidence and purpose. Chapter 26, Final Thoughts. In the Final Thoughts chapter of Awaken the Giant Within, Tony Robbins wraps up the book by reminding us that we have the power to shape our lives. He urges us to take everything we've learned and put it into action, because without action, even the best strategies are useless. Tony stresses that change doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that requires patience, persistence, and consistency. He encourages us to take small, consistent steps toward our goals. And even when things get tough, we should remember that we're in control of our emotions, our decisions, and ultimately, our destiny. Robbins is all about empowerment, and in this final chapter, he makes it clear, you are the creator of your life. No one else holds the key to your happiness or success. By using the tools he's shared, you can break free from old patterns and create the future you desire. But, it's not enough to simply learn. You have to commit to making a change and transforming your mindset. He finishes with a call to action. He challenges readers to make bold decisions right now. What will you do differently starting today? Tony emphasizes that the only thing stopping you from living your dream life is yourself. So, take control, dream big, and use the strategies you've learned to unleash the giant within. It's a perfect kickstart to get out of the pages of the book and into the real world, armed with the tools and mindset to truly transform your life. You have everything you need to succeed, now go make it happen.